Hello, YouTube. This is Angel Charms, and I'm back with another at work video. Today is day 3 of me training a new hire, not a temp, but a new hire. And this is training, not helping. First, let me say that I am now what you would call a specialist, and a specialist trains people, which I was doing already before, but now they have a title with it and a little more cash to go with it. About time, too. So, I am training a new hire for that second position that when I've been doing those two. If you saw my previous video about the trainee I had, I think it was titled, and it be your own people, snitch. If you haven't seen it, check that out. But this is not the same girl. That girl is gone. So I got a new hire in, and oh man, let me tell you, I work. I work in a warehouse. I build car parts, and with this job, you have to. You can kind of work at your own pace, as long as you don't get behind. So I got a new hire, training her for the second position. Day 1, I'm showing her everything. Well, when she first comes in, my boss tell her, take notes if you need to, help you learn and remember stuff. And she's like, no, she ain't taking notes. She gonna remember it. Of course, y'all probably already knowing that ain't going too well, and you're right. So the first day, I'm showing her what to do, explaining. And now we have actual finished parts that you can look at, and the parts that you use to put together to make the cable. They have numbers on them. You look at the part, each part is numbered, and you just go down and you just put this piece, you connect this piece, you connect this piece. That's it. And depending on what you're making, you have a different main cable that you're actually making. So I'm showing her the first day, okay, this is the one you need for this is one you need for that, and then you put it together like that, and this is what it looks like, just like the sample here. Let's fast forward to yesterday, toward the second half of yesterday and into today. At this point, I've made her a list of what I want her to do. She'll look at the list, she will grab the sample, and then when she goes to get the parts, she's grabbing the wrong part and she's telling me, is this it? Now, let me say that I have been constantly, no, it's this one. No, it's this one. No, it's this one. No, it's this one with this girl. So now she gets the sample out, and she goes to get the part. Excuse my nails, I'm trying to get them off. And she's asking me, is this it? Now at this point, I'm not walking over to say, no, it's this one. I'm like, is that the same one as on the sample? And she's like, I don't know, that's what I'm asking you. Well, there's a sample at your station, the one that you have in your hands. Do they look alike? And you're going to tell me you don't know? Well, how about you look and make a comparison first before you tell me I don't know, that you don't know. This is going on and on and on. And car part, we got nuts, bolts, all kind of stuff. And the raw materials are in the back, and they all have numbers on there. They're in numerical order. Some of them skip some numbers, and if they skip the number, they're a smaller piece, and we have those in a different color tray in another section. So they're not in the back, they'll be towards the front. We're looking for a part 23, 55, 56, and some other ones. So I take her back there because this is her first time back there. I take her back there down the aisle where all her parts are listed. I said, go ahead and find those numbers right there. So she starts walking down, looking. 2355 now. I'm standing, and now the shelves, the parts, they start at the top and they go down, down, and then you get the last one at the bottom, and they start at the top of it again, and they continue down. Now 2370 is at the top of the next row, which means down at the bottom, because they go from the bottom and start the top row and go down. You probably find the 60s and 50s down there. So she's going all the way down to probably where the 3000s are starting now, because we're looking for 2355. So after she's going up and down, looking. I said, what part are you looking for? And she tell me 2355. And I said, okay, this right here is 2370. So that means 2355 will probably be on one that starts somewhere on the bottom shelf. So she's looking, or she pretending, I don't know. Finally, she finds it. Okay, that was 2355. The next number, 23. What's the next number? 2356. All right, get that one. I'm thinking she started walking down and looking down again. I'm like, what the fuck? I said, you just got through looking at 2355. 2356 should be next to it. They're in numerical order, which I actually did say that when we first started going down the aisle. They're in numerical order. I told that from the beginning. Failed to mention that. And of course, if they're very small nuts and bolts and things, then they're going to be in the blue trays around front. So 2356 was not there. I'm like, okay, they're in the front. Let's go up there. We get it. She gets the parts. Now we're low. We have a clipboard that we write that stuff down so they can order some more. Clipboard, date, name, part, whatever. And there are columns. How many left on the shelf? Just write that it's low, because that's what it is. We're not going to sit there and count every little piece. Just write that it's low. And she's like, I said, low. I think she understood me, so I was like, low, Low. And she's like, I know how to spell. I'm like, well, you were standing there like you didn't know what I'm talking about. She said, well, all you said was shelf, because that's the next column. The first column is date, your name, the shelf. Do I literally have to say this column? You can't read the paper? And then we got to go to another area to get some parts. 3 bundles. Each bundle holds 25. If you're going to take 3 bundles, that's 75. Write 75 down. Oh no, she's not good at math, y'all. So I had to tell her, write down 75. This is the shit I've got to deal with. And this is day 3. Manager told her again to take notes. She wouldn't. So I'm explaining something to her for the 30th time. This right here is so and so, and this right here is such and such. Huh? This right here is so and so, and this right here is such and such. She looking confused. I said, okay. I said, write this down. And she gave me a look like I done said something mean and disgusting to her when I told her to write it down. She got off, and I repeated myself. She wrote down half of what I said. Never looked at that paper again. Here we go, making something else 15, 20 minutes later. And I'm telling her again, this is this, this is this, and this is this. Later on in the day, I was like, oh yeah, remember when you're making this, it's this, this, and this piece only. Did she write it down? No. Did she get confused and ask me again? Yeah. This is what I've got to deal with. And I told my boss, and he's like, calm down, blah, blah. And I'm like, look, I'm all about helping people, but you got to help yourself. I'm not holding your hand, and I'm not babysitting when the shit's right there in front of you. And I'll be like, what part are you making? Because they all have names. And she don't know. Well, if you didn't know, then how are you able to look at the name on the paper I wrote? You went over there and got the sample out. But then when it's time to get those pieces to make that part, you don't know. This is what I got to deal with. This is straight up ridiculous. Most people, well, hell, everybody should know. As an adult, you should know what kind of learner you are. You're a fast learner. You're a slow learner. You easily forget stuff. You know, oh, well, I might need to write this down. I ain't gonna remember this. Or at least if you give a shit. But when you're told twice by the manager to write something down, and then I remind you, hey, write this down, and you don't want to because you want me to keep sitting there holding your hand and telling you when I've got other stuff I need to do as well. And mind you, I'm not even doing my job because the first day I spent with her. Which, I mean, coming in, yeah, and all you're doing is doing the same repetitive crap over and over again with a sample in front of you, and you can't grab a part and say, oh, yeah, this looks like that one. Yeah, I got the right one. Or, nope, this don't look like that on the sample. Ooh, I got the wrong part. Let me go look again. But instead, you want me to take you out of hand, walk you over there, and grab this part on the third day. She ain't retaining anything I said. She's refusing to make notes for herself. I can tell you something, you can write it exactly how I said it, or you can shorthand it or put it in a language for yourself that you understand. Whatever it takes. But I tell you what, it's not gonna take me holding your hand, stopping what I'm doing to walk over there and point something after you that's labeled. It's labeled. This is this part. This is this part. This is this part. Grab the ones you need, bring them over to your workstation, and put them things together like the sample that stands in front of you. Man, and, and you know, and you know what the funny thing about this is? Hold on. I'll be right back. Hold up, hold up. Okay, I'm back. And you know what the funny thing about this is? Is that this girl, wherever the hell it was that she used to work, she used to be QA, quality assurance. You check the quality to make sure whatever it is you're checking is right. No scuffs, no scrapes, that it's put together right, packaged right, whatever. QA, you got to have an eye for detail. And you mean to tell me that this girl can't look at a part that's put together and she's got one holding it in her hand and she can't look at it and see if it's the right part or the wrong part? She's just gonna say, I don't know. Oh, yeah, it's my job to train you, but not hold your hand and babysit. No, ma'am. And when I told her that she needed to start writing this stuff down, she was like, she'll learn it eventually. Well, eventually, in my book, is 2 weeks. You got 2 weeks. Now, if you are somebody who's actually trying to learn, trying to take in the info that I am showing and telling you, and you're making notes of stuff, and hey, Angel, could you tell me that again? I mean, write this down. If you are trying to absorb what I'm teaching you, then you got questions, fine, great. But if you want me to sit there and hold your hand on every motherfucking thing I tell you, and it's day 3 and we're doing the same repetitive shit over and over again, oh bitch, you got to go. But again, not my call. And I know people aren't going to get it all in the first day, not in the first week, not everything, but retain something. Retain at least half of what I tell you. At least try. But if you're not remembering, and I'm like, hey, write this down to kind of help you out, and you tell me no, my work ethic will not allow me to not give a shit. As much as I try to not give a shit, I can't. I can't. I don't function that way. I just don't. Man, shit. I don't function that way. And I am trying to teach this girl this stuff, or teach somebody, to take the workload off myself. But, whew, tomorrow is a new day. And my boss talked that we're going to start fresh. The girl going to tell him that I'm treating her like she's stupid. No, you're acting like you're stupid. Because if you got a sample that looks like this, for instance, the sample looks like this, and you bring me this and ask me, is this? And I say, does it look like it? And you tell me, I don't know. What the hell am I supposed to do with that? You tell me. What the hell am I supposed to do that with that? Because she don't give a shit to try and help herself. Eventually, I ain't gonna give a shit either. I will learn how not to give a shit. Anyway, tomorrow's another day. We'll see what happens. Tomorrow, she's just gonna build one part continuously all day, and maybe it'll stick up in that noggin. But anyway, um, I'll make another video and let y'all know how it goes. But anyway, this is Angel Charms. I'm a, try and just put this work day aside and get ready for tomorrow. Until then, this is Angel Charms. I'm out. I'm tired. And by the way, this video, when I upload it, it might cut into two parts. I don't know. If it does, part two will follow right behind it. All right, see y'all.